best with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Talking Horses. It's Sunday, August 15th. He is the Big A, Anthony Stabile. I'm Andy Serling. As we finish off week number 5, we'll talk a bit about some of the races from yesterday. I have a bone to pick with Anthony, but I'll get to that in a second, right after you go to Naira Bets. In fact, you have to go to Naira Bets to hear this. And I have a very personal issue with Anthony we need to discuss on the show. Well, I feel a little betrayed. Use this promo code SPOT200.
You feel betrayed.
No. I think you'll agree with me when I tell you. I think you will. I think you have some explaining to do. We will match for $200 your initial deposit when you use the promo code SPOT200. Head over to Naira Bets. Play through Naira Bets. Keep the money in the game. We've got the low rollers today. Every Thursday and Sunday, go see Jay and or Ray, two fine gentlemen over by the 4-Star Dave. $40 buy-in, $30 live money, $10 prize. A lot of fun. And really is fun. And a friend of mine won like almost $800 in it a couple weeks ago.
You have a friend?
Yeah, well, sort of. Not really. I don't really like him. I don't know. He probably doesn't like me either, to be honest with you. Anyway, we got some split, right? 10,000 pick 6 split. Check it out. Go to Naira.com for more information involving the Saratoga and Del Mar's pick 6s. You got to play them both. You got to opt in. And finally, we're on all sorts of channels. You figure it out. Today, Sunday, from 1 to 6:30. You have another friend with the same name as me?
I do.
I feel a little betrayed. Who did you know first? I want you to be
honest.
So you have room in your heart for another Andy or Andrew?
Yep.
You're calling him Andrew.
I call
so
him.
you're
I
trying
call,
to
hold on.
separate and think you fooled me, but you didn't.
I usually call him Drew.
I'm deeply hurt.
It's his 39th birthday today.
Is it? Happy birthday.
So he came up to hang out for the weekend.
All your friends' birthdays are the same weekend.
Yep.
Wow.
So we're going to celebrate tonight. We celebrated last night, of course, at
Happy birthday, Andrew.
Yes.
He's on the set if you guys want to come by and give him presents.
Yeah, if you want to give Andrew some cigars.
He spent the weekend with Anthony,
accolades.
so he probably needs some cash.
But yes, he's also an AV guy, so he fits right in up here on the set. So there you go. So yes.
Very, very nice. I just want you to know I don't
Andrew.
feel it's fair for you to be having other
That's
friends the same name as me.
All right.
I don't have any friends with the name of the Big
A.
A.
No, you don't. You know why? There's only one Big A, my friend. That's why.
Race number 1. I was going to show the 2-horse. You have third. I have nowhere. Baja Fog. It just feels like these are the kind of horses that get bet a little bit. And listen, it's Wesley Ward. You never know. But this horse was even money and up. Pretty mediocre maiden race down at Churchill Downs. And obviously the horse could win here. This is just the kind of horse that'll take some money for Wesley. I know 6-1 morning line, but they always seem to get bet with an effort. And the speed figure is so slow. And I think any figure you look at is. So maybe she improves, but these are the kind of horses I want to play against.
Yes. I agree. I put a third. She ran. She's going to have to run exponentially faster than that race, I would think, to get a piece of this. But, it's been a few months now, right? Almost 2.5 months. So I'll respect it because it's Wesley, but I don't want anything. And the fact that she's going to be 5 or 6-1, maybe I'll mess around with her a little bit. But, more often than not, these are the horses you're trying to play against.
So who are you taking here?
I went to the bottom. I went to Salippo. Candy ride first. Elisa's Booby Trap, the mare. Yeah. Decent work tab.
Of course, half to anybody that could run.
I can't read my note. Who was this?
Well, show me. I'll take a look.
It's right there.
Let me see.
See it?
I don't see any notes.
Oh,
Anthony. Okay. If you didn't look up the pedigree, this was after Not That Brady, who was actually a pretty solid runner. Not That Brady was a big brown. It is. Yeah. It is a big brown, and this is one of the candy rides, so I would not disagree. Lisa Booby Trap obviously was a very good sprinter that got dramatically overbet once in a turf race here. People got mad at me because she was like one.
You will never not bring that up.
She was 1-5 in a split division of the risk averse.
That was so
and
ridiculous.
I said during the prattle that somebody should fly a plane overhead and drop dunce caps on the racetrack
That was
for everybody
so
betting the
ridiculous.
horse.
She was 1-5.
People got mad at me. She was desperately last in here. She's
1-5.
also a horse that when she won her race in turf, in a sprint, 2 people on the racetrack had no idea about her. Me and Eric Donovan. Eric made her like 6-1. She was like 2-5. It was a 5-horse field. I had her 5th in the 5-horse field. And I remember I saw Eric in the paddock, and he said, I must have been the only person who didn't know about this horse. I said, no, there were 2 idiots, you and me,
we talk
actually.
about we talk about names sometimes. The horse was named after a strip club and the trainer's late ex-wife.
Yeah.
Late wife. How great is
He
that?
believed that his wife was reincarnated in the horse. Hey, listen.
The greatest game. It is the greatest
That might be almost too
game.
crazy for Anthony. I've got that horse in there. I have the 3 Good Skate in there, as you do too, for Rudy, a horse that looked like probably would appreciate that race, maybe a little green. I'm going to take Skeptical. First of all, I love that name. How could I not bet on a horse? How could I not take a horse named Skeptical?
If anybody's going to pick it, it's you.
Kenny McPeak has had some success with a limited number of starters for what it's worth up in Saratoga. Turf to Dirt maidens at Saratoga in their second starts. He's 2 for 6 with almost an $8 ROI. 2-year-olds, he's 2 for 5. I've seen this move before. The dam was pretty good. The foals aren't that good. I know. This horse is a New Mexico bred. I get it. But I don't know. Jose Ortiz is riding. The horse did show speed first time. It's not like the horse showed absolutely nothing first time out.
Are you really going to try and knock it? You can't really knock anybody in here, right?
I was looking for a little bit of a hook in this race.
Yeah, that's all.
Race number 2.
The deuce.
What'd you do in race number 2?
I went to the bottom. No, not the bottom. I'm sorry. I went to the 10. Flip the script. For my man Tommy Albertrani, Luis Saez aboard.
There's no story. No Rob Masiello story.
No,
this
is not Rob Masiello.
But he's friends with the best horse with Tom Albertrani, so nothing.
Source comes out of the Dr. Jeff race.
That was a dirt race.
Yep, I know.
By the way, he didn't run at all yesterday.
No, he did not
Awful.
run at all yesterday. He was intended for turf first time out. Dam was 2 for 23 all for all, 1 for 10. This is a Temple City, so I'm hoping this horse can turf a little bit.
Okay, the Dam actually ran 10 times on the turf.
That's what I said, 1 for 10.
I thought you said 23.
Look, she was 2 for 23 overall, 1 for 10 on the turf.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, with a 76 buyer. She ran 3 foals in the turf. One of them won. But the one that won ran figures in the 60s. I gotcha. Temple Cities. I like them too. I have the horse. I didn't have the horse anywhere, actually.
A little price, maybe.
I thought the 2 right horses in here were the 5 Ansel for Bill Mott. I like the Bill Mott horses that don't do a lot of running first time out, but maybe ran better than they look. This horse broke a length slow, a little bit wide in the turns. I thought this one, Ansel, ran like one that will run better second time out. But I also like the 9, Kiss the Sky, and we'll watch actually this horse's race down at Ellis, where he was reined off the turf. While the Dam didn't win on the turf, she produced 3 horses to try the turf that all won, and 2 of them were actually very solid. They paid a lot of money after a 10-5th workout. This horse worked 10 and 5th to say, and really didn't look like a fast work for me. And, you know, they run the horse, get reined off at Ellis, and they ship the horse all the way up here.
Yep.
To me, that's a pretty good sign for them to run the turf up here. So I'm going to focus on the 9 and 5 as the 2 horses. Barkley as a firster, and the 3, Dream of Day. The Dam was a nice turf horse.
Won the
Second foal, right.
Appalachian.
Yeah, she was solid. She won almost $200,000, actually. And this one, while the Dam Bruiser foal didn't win the turf, it did run a 76 buyer. So the horse actually did handle the grass. Got that one in there as well. We went in slightly different directions in this race. You got the 8 in there with Pletcher.
Yeah,
You're going to get those Todd first-time stars going long in the turf home if it kills you.
Half to a decent dirt filly, Bella Aurora. She,
this is a turf horse.
I know. He's putting her on the turf first time. He knows what her pedigree is. She does an ordinary turf workout.
Paid $500,000 this horse. Don't you feel like they're running on the turf because the horse just hasn't shown anything
Could
in the
very
dirt?
well be. And maybe she needs distance. I don't know.
Race number 3. Race number 3. We'll show Anthony's horse Defy Expectations, who somehow was a bigger price than Jillzot Mess in this race. I bet her. She got beat at the wire. I want Ginger Kitty, actually, out of this race.
Okay.
Not because necessarily she ran much better, though I don't think she ran worse than Defy Expectations in this race, but because she really got an atrocious ride last time. I could have shown the race, but I figured I'd show our expectation this horse. If you want to watch Ginger K's last race, I just don't know what the plan was with her in there. They should have just gone with her, frankly, in there. And I don't love her. I don't love anybody in here. I don't disagree with you. Defy Expectations is the logical horse in this race. I just don't want to take her at a short price.
This was one of those races. Well, she's 9-2.
Is she really going to be 9-2?
I don't, Andy. Let me tell you something. We say this ad nauseum. You want to make a line for this race?
No. I'm not criticizing David's line. I just don't think this horse will be 9-2. But
I spent more time on this race than I spent on the card. This race was. Who do you really want to bet on in here?
Well, I want to bet on the 8.
Okay.
And I'm going to bet on the 8.
That's fine. Right. You're betting it off the ride last time and off the trip, and I get that. As far as form goes, though, I want to use a bunch of horses in here, and then now you're pointing out the 8. I'll use some 8s, but I mean,
Ginger Kitty's has run races that make her competitive in here. And
she has.
Got a very silly trip last time in a race. And listen, I don't disagree that Tom Morley's horse Social Whirl can wire the field in this race. We'll see. And I think Social Whirl, if nothing else, kind of makes Defy Expectations' job a little harder. Because she has legit speed, and you think about Defy Expectations. It's easier to wire those 6s than 5.5s here, and I bet her last time. It was an annoying loss, but she didn't have any excuse.
Well, the one thing about Defy Expectations, when she won going 5.5, she broke her maiden.
I know,
she sat just off the pace, and I would imagine
that race isn't going to win here.
No, it's not. But I think she's improved since then, and I would imagine she's going to get a very similar setup today because she should be right off of Social World.
Maybe. I don't know. She can win. I've got her third. I'm not against her. I just don't love her. And I agree with you about Tom's horse. I actually thought about putting Social Whirl on top because she ran last time. I hate last time was the time horses. Got the money with her last time. I see he's got Fuddled, the favorite. A horse you and I have completely left out. I guess you and I are leaving out because you finally joined me on the Safi Joseph needs to win 1 or 2 before we're going to start betting his horses.
Yeah.
Especially at short prices.
Especially if you're going to make this horse 7-2.
And maybe David's right. This horse does have one race that makes this horse an overwhelming favorite. But that was a year ago. And the last 2 races give this horse absolutely no chance whatsoever.
And the problem is that race was a year ago with with only 2 races in between. Now you see the drop for the tag. The other horse, and I know Phil Maurice, the number 9, has to get exponentially faster to win this race. I know that. But she made such an improvement from her dirt races to her turf races.
I know,
and it was all 5 months. I know it's a reach, but maybe if you're playing tries in here, she's at a price. Maybe she picks up some pieces and gets in there. I don't know.
I would definitely go to Fillmore East if I had a time machine. My favorite, a friend of mine in New York, who I won't say his name. You don't know him, but you know what I'm talking about. Went to a lot of shows at Fillmore East, a bit older than me. And he also has been known to make a bet in his life. His favorite Fillmore East story was that he was on the phone in Fillmore East betting on some NBA games one night at some show, whoever it was, and eyeing a pretty young woman. And he said, "What's the line on the Knicks?" And she said, well, he said it on the phone. She said, "It's 5, but there's some 5.5 around town if you want."
Wow. Did he marry her?
He wanted to. She probably ran away.
I'm sure he did.
She could have been one of his wives. The 10 Herald Angel. I know she's not much, but she does have the feel of a Mike Maker 3 Diamonds that you don't want to let beat you in this race.
No, I mean, they have become, especially in these questionable fields, an automatic use if you're playing multi-race wagers. You're not letting these horses beat you in a race like this. I'm not letting that horse beat me.
No, you can't let that horse beat you. This horse is not very good. I don't mind the outside post.
It hasn't seemed to matter.
But it has, exactly, that is a great point. Race number 4 is probably not a race we need to spend a lot of time on. I'm very disappointed in David Aragona. He did this to annoy me because I told him I'd be annoyed if he made the horse over 2-5, so he made him 1-2.
Good for you. Good. Attaboy, David.
I'm the easiest guy.
Good job, buddy.
I have the easiest mark
That's
of all time.
That's a big A thumbs up.
We'll take a look at Water's Edge. Beating King Angelo, who won yesterday in a fairly soft spot in the turf, but King Angelo is a better dirt horse. I tried him here. He ran a race that wins this race about 98% of the time, but he ran to Water's Edge. Water's Edge is a good one, and I mean, I really want him to win for Dave Donk. I think we all do. We like Dave, and it's good to see him have a nice horse. And if this horse runs back to either of his, especially last race,
that's the problem.
Especially last race.
Oh, the last race will win this race by 10.
I know that race 2 back only got a 78 buyer. American Revolution won the New York Derby by 50.
Feel like it's a better race, right? Than that fig? Yeah.
I do. I mean, Sinful Dancer, who's third, was running figures in the 80s and regressed from there.
I'm not Devil's Code's biggest fan, but even I think this has to be. It's got to be a 1-3.
Feels like a pretty likely result in here. I mean, I know Saratoga Powell, horse who has run well at Saratoga in the past. beat me at a fortune with South Africa, who won about 7 straight races after that. But I agree with you, right? I'm bitter. I carry it with me
Win
for
machines.
a long time.
We leave them, they turn into win machines.
Race number 5.
Pepper's Pride. What was the other? Was another filly that won a
I
million
had been
races?
hoping in race number 5. I was hoping. It didn't work out that way. But I was hoping, because my mom will be here today, which I'm looking forward to, that maybe Positive Sum could win and she could go to the winner's circle. But that won't be happening.
Because we both picked her.
No, because I won't be around to be able to take her there. But having said that, I'll be honest with you, I don't really have any real information this horse. I sort of asked. I got an ambivalent response. I think the horse might be okay. Doesn't it feel like Chad Brown always seems to have one decent 2-year-old filly for Klarovich every year? And I was hoping it was this one, but I don't really up here.
I don't know anything either.
Yeah, I really don't.
Dan was 2 for 9. She was graded stakes placed. It's an Into Mischief. So they only paid $220. Into Mischief stands for $225. I thought that was a little interesting. But yeah, kind of has the feel. And you know what?
Well, what was Into Mischief standing for when they bought her last year? Might have been a little less, right? Might have been a buck and a half. I'm not sure. You have to be a little careful with that.
That's a good
because
point.
sometimes
Yep.
they do. They go up or down sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
I don't listen. They're Into Mischief. It's the first foal. The dam ran okay. She ran figures in the 80s, and look at this race. We'll take a look. I mean, Knowing Glance. Okay, Knowing Glance and Tap and Glow are the two that'll take money in here. Now, Knowing Glance ran the slower race. I don't know. I guess the horse ran okay. My problem with this is, and Knowing Glance can win. Al Stahl is a reliable trainer to get the money when he's supposed to get the money. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying she won't run better. She has a race under her belt. And she'll need to run better because she's not likely to win this race, the 60 buyer. And I just feel with Al, it's like this horse was supposed to win for Al. And she got a good trip. She ran okay, and she just didn't punch.
She didn't fire. Yeah, I agree. I couldn't agree with you more. Off of that trip, too. And here she's going to get a little steady there. I mean, was it really much?
It was meaningless.
Race is over. Race is over. So,
and Tap and Glow got the 71 buyer, hung like a chandelier. I mean, the horse Shanghai is Essence, and I actually bet that horse. That horse did all the dirty work in the race. And Tap and Glow just kind of hung. And not to say something that if you said it, I would yell at you. I do wonder if the horse moved up a little on a wet track, because I didn't think this horse's first race was particularly good at all.
We had talked about that. The first race really wasn't good, and then all of a sudden she hit the muddy track. She threw 15 points.
Now maybe she improved second time out.
Maybe.
And she can obviously win here, but I wasn't enamored by her either.
You picked the horse for second. You don't even know where the name's from.
Well, actually, it's funny that you bring that up. I'm glad you did, because now I'm sure I'm wrong about this. It's a McLean's music, so I was thinking about the jester on the sideline, American Pie. And I was wondering if that came from. It's not?
It's Top Gun.
Ugh. Silly movie.
Jester called No Joy. They went below the flight line, 10,000 feet. Come on, Andy. Read a book, man.
I've read more books in the last 2 months than you've read in your entire life.
You absolutely have.
Okay.
You absolutely have.
Let's take a look at the number 8, whose name Anthony is going to pronounce, because this horse looked pretty good.
Aliyah Esri.
There you go. I knew I could count on my man. So the 2 horses did no running. They paid $210,000. Listen, we've had a lot of these works we've shown. The horses have run well. We showed the Tony Dutcher horse yesterday. It worked 9,450. That horse sold for $1,500 Wheeling, $200 as a 2-year-old.
Wow.
Probably should have won that race. No, winner ran well, but that horse ran better.
That was a little hang job,
No,
wasn't
but that
it?
horse had early trouble in the race, too.
Okay.
So that horse actually ran and break.
Make a great point.
This horse worked. This is the other Chad Brown horse, but I thought this was a pretty good workout.
210 for the Daredevil, 220 for the Into Mischief. How about that?
There you have it. Probably not bought by Chad Brown at the sale, but I don't really know for sure. All right. We'll take a break.
Want to take a break?
We got 5 more to come.
Make business meetings exquisite. Make a weekend outing exquisite. Make a late night snack exquisite. Make a night on the town exquisite. For nearly 150 years, the Saratoga Spring Water Company has been producing the finest spring water available anywhere. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.
We're back. He's the big A, Anthony Stabile. I am not. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35 36 37 38 39 40 41 42 43 44 45 46 47 48 49 50 51 52 53 54 55 56 57 58 59 60 61 62 63 64 65 66 67 68 69 70 71 72 73 74 75 76 77 78 79 80 81 82 83 84 85 86 87 88 89 90 91 92 93 94 95 96 97 98 99 100 101 102 103 104 105 106 107 108 109 110 111 112 113 114 115 116 117 118 119 120 121 122 123 124 125 126 127 128 129 130 131 132 133 134 135 136 137 138 139 140 141 142 143 144 145 146 147 148 149 150 There's a horse in race number 6.
Yes. There's a few horses in race number 6.
I think is an extraordinarily likely winner of the race. You and I both have the horse second. I actually kind of put her second, because I thought you'd probably pick her. And I have a goofy idea on a horse. But if the one, write this down, runs back to her last race, this field could be in trouble. This horse really ran. I mean, she broke a good 2 to 3 lengths behind the field in here, and she's going to settle back and last.
She kept losing ground.
We're going to pick this race up around the 3/8 pole. The other problem is she's a horse that got left, that draws the rail. I don't worry. I like less distance. This horse seemed to be better with less distance. This horse really ran. I mean, you see this move, makes the big widest move, half the turn, about 6 wide in here, and really legitimately never stopped running. Rob Atras claiming the horse for Mike Dubbs, a good claim by them, theoretically. I got to tell you, I'm worried about the horse getting left. But other than that, this horse is a fairly likely winner, no?
I think you got to worry about the rail, like you mentioned. I do worry a little bit about the distance. I know where you're coming from with it, where maybe she gets more pace and a punch.
It's easier to wire at 5.5 than close at 5.5 than 7.
I don't disagree with that, but yeah, I mean she's a likely winner, but I wanted to take one shot against her like you did.
I saw Eddie Barker.
Did you?
In.
I haven't seen him once up here.
Really?
No.
I've seen him a couple times. He was with Dominic because I saw Dominic first, so it doesn't fit in.
I haven't seen Dominic either.
Seen Dominic a number of times. So go ahead with Roxon.
She caught a couple of wet tracks to start her career.
This is a turf race.
She improved, right. She improved, I thought she improved leaps and bounds when she went to the turf. I think the less distance is going to help her a little bit. I thought she kind of spun on wheels the last 1/8 of a mile or so last time. She gets Lasix for the first time, and she's going to be a square price. I wanted to take one shot against the favorite with her.
No, I don't think she's impossible. I didn't think she was probably good enough, but I didn't think she was impossible. I thought I'd use her as well. I wonder what Junior is going to do with New York Supreme. There's a funny pace projector for this race. The pace projector I don't agree with has the 5 in front. Maybe.
Really?
Yeah, maybe.
Wow.
I thought the 6 or 7 were faster. I don't know what to do with New York Supreme. She was in against a very tough speed horse in Social World last time, and Ricardo did his absolute best. Actually gave her a very good ride. She just wasn't good enough.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I almost thought Candy Monet almost had to be on the lead in here, didn't she?
Well, she's probably forward. It's hard to know. It's also intention. I thought Candy Monet was an interesting horse. She went on the turf last time for the first time. And it's interesting that Dave Donk ran her back just 2 weeks after her debut rained off. And she had been entered going long, first time out. And now he entered her back going short. And she showed blazing speed in that race. They were moving up front.
That's why I'm saying I think she's going to be in front. I mean,
I don't know if she'll be in front.
She's fast.
She can be forward. I don't know if she'll be in front or not. She's not as fast. She's not as fast as the 5 of the 5 transfers her dirt form to the turf. Having said all that, she did fall apart a bit, but she was involved in the fast pace. Uncle's Gem didn't break the other day, so we don't really know how legit that race was. But I thought she really ran. She dropped down. Thought she was an interesting horse, picking up Javier for this race. I thought she was an okay alternative. We'll see. I didn't know that she'd be 4-1, but that's probably fair. Yeah. We'll see.
Okay.
1s, 6s. I could throw your 10 in a little 7.
I'm using a little Mike Maker off the drop from the October layoff. Tyler Gaffalione climbs aboard.
The 3 Black Licorice?
Yes, the 3 Black Licorice.
Horse ran his eyeballs out first time.
You a Black Licorice fan? Me either. Not too much I don't like.
I don't really like licorice.
Me either.
I don't like Twizzlers.
Me either.
I don't get the Twizzler
Mom
thing.
loves them. I don't like them.
I don't get the Twizzler thing. I don't like anything about them. I don't like the way they feel. I don't like anything.
Weird texture, right?
Texture's important to me.
Texture's
It's one of the reasons
important.
I don't like mushrooms.
Oh, that's weird.
Mushrooms are one of the few foods I won't eat.
Really?
Well, I'll eat them occasionally. Nah, I don't like
right.
I don't like the way they feel. It's
So
like
liver. You don't eat liver, right?
No, I don't eat liver. It's 2 of the drinks.
You could never have my mom's Thanksgiving stuffing then. It's liver and mushrooms. But it's delicious.
I like oysters.
Okay.
There's a horse that we'll get to in race 7 that's just sort of carrying the weight of the world as we switch over to race 7 that'll probably lose because it's too obvious. But I do want to start with the 7th race on 7/24 and talk about Myra Mission and Never Explain. And we'll start by talking about Never Explain early. I don't really care what Myra Mission did early in the race, but Never Explain, I gotta tell you something, Never Explain ran extremely well. This is a very, very tough beat for this horse because she was forward. She took Jose into the race, 4 wide in the first turn, rushing up after that to get right to the front. You see her widest of all right there. While it's going on, Mirror Mission was too wide. And Mirror Mission got outside of trouble, which we'll see in the stretch, a very good trip. While problem was that Mirror Mission would have won had she gotten clear. But through no fault of Jose Lezcano's, she couldn't get clear until it was too late. She tries to get clear there, and she ends up getting blind switched by the horse outside of her. The winner of this race, Shifting Sands, got maybe the trip of the year. And I really think that the finish probably should have been either Mirror Mission, Never Explain, or Never Explain Mission. Mirror Mission, Never Explain probably ran the better race of the two, believe it or not. It's pretty close. I didn't want anybody else out of that race. Nobody else out of that race. No Mirror Mission for you?
Yeah, I probably slept Mirror Mission.
Yeah.
I had the fifth pick. It's the famous fifth pick.
She shouldn't be picked lower than Future Victory, who was awful in there. I mean, she was just awful.
You don't like Future Victory at all out of there?
She ran horrendously in there. She was one that really just doing any running at all. She saved ground for much of the race.
Thought she lost some position on it. He lost some position on the turn.
He had a perfect trip. You should watch it again. He had a very good trip. He just wasn't good enough.
Okay.
The other horses, in my opinion, just did much more running. Maybe it'll be different today. But there's Treason, and we'll show Treason's maiden win. Treason's maiden win was very, very good. It can't be 3 or 4 wide on the inner going a mile, sort of in no man's land.
The whole way.
The way he was last time. It's just it's a silly trip. You've got to get that position. And the mistake in that race was not being aggressive enough early to be forward. This was not a slow horse. This horse could have been more forward.
Not a slow horse into a tepid pace.
Right.
Pulling that trip that you could have avoided that trip with a little aggression last time.
Well, there was.
At least there was a chance to avoid that trip.
You know, the pace wasn't fast, but that was a turf that had a lot of give in it. Yeah, I mean, you've got to be more decisive than that. You can't lollygag in those races, and that's really what happened.
Dylan Davis rides this one, by the way.
Right. So Dylan's on. The problem with Treason is you're not getting 6 to 1 on this horse. You're not
the whole
getting
world likes this horse.
Yeah, everybody likes this horse, and for good reason. Ran pretty well. For what it's worth, Never Explain went 33 more feet than Mirror Mission, I believe.
Wow.
Is it Mirror Mission? Yes, according to Trackus. Other horses. What about Shawty?
What about Shawty?
I didn't put the horse in. I thought the horse was not impossible. I thought the one hidden enemy had a chance, has run against some better horses, and probably appreciates a cutback and does get a good post with Joel on the inside. Thought it was a shot. What's your thing with the 11 Devil Sky?
Well, excuse me. Horse lost all chance at the start first time out. Day was over, and came back and ran a lot better. I thought with a better trip. Now,
right, but it's got to improve significantly.
Got to improve. But you're almost waiting for these George Weaver horses to maybe get a little bit more luck and kind of wake up a little bit. And this horse is going to be a big price. I'm hoping maybe I can get this horse into. There's a race where, like you said, a lot of us like Treason. I'm going to try and key off a Treason in here. And if I'm playing the race vertically, you're not leaving Never Explain out, but I want to try and get some other juicy prices in there. I like Future Victory a little bit and Devil Sky.
Should be noted that Eyes on Target gets in and has run well in both the turf starts. But this is a tough post for this horse to deal with, and going to be tough to get the trip that he might need. But he did close in his first start to finish second. Race number 8. Though race number 8 was a gigantic headache. Yes.
Okay.
We'll look at the mile and an eighth race that Absolute Love and Mongolian Humor and Yes, I'm Evil come out of. This is right at the end. Absolute Love won. Mongolian Humor was third. Mongolian Humor came back to win. We'll show that race. You can run that race as quickly as you like after we show this replay, or as quickly as you can, please. I don't know, man. I guess I kind of want Absolute Love turning back off the claim for Rob Atras. He's only 2 for 16 with $1 ROI, $1 ROI, turning back off claims. I don't know. This horse has got a lot of bad races. The last 2 were good, but they were for Joe Sharp. Much like Rob Atras, can he keep the good form that she's gotten in recently? I picked her second.
I picked her third. Yeah, I mean, tough. I don't want to say a tough time with this race. I thought there were 3 horses. I narrowed it down to 3 horses that could win. Yeah.
I narrowed it down to 5.
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 7, and 8.
I narrowed it down to 4, 5, 7.
I want to talk about this race that Mongolian Humor won. See, I don't really want horses out of this race. This was a race with a very heavy favorite for Linda Rice, who was coming off 2 bad starts. That horse blew out to like an 8-length lead with Irad at like 1 or 2 to 5. Huge favorite, 2 to 5, 3 to 5. and just came to a dead
Saranic?
stop. What?
Saranic.
Came to a dead stop. And I'm not saying these horses didn't run their race, and I know it was a big fig. I ain't buying it.
Yeah, but Andy, here I'm going to give it to you.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing. Horse ran a big enough fig, and now gets a trainer change off the claim.
Wait a second. We've gone through this time and time again. Time and time again. Trainers don't have success claiming from Randy Persaud. You think because Randy has a low percentage.
I don't think because Randy has a low percentage.
No, I'm not saying you.
I think it's Theodoro. And there are certain guys.
I think this horse is. I think this horse is. I'm not going to be shocked if she wins.
Okay.
As I said, I think she's going to win, but I think she is a gigantic looming trap. I think this is an extremely tough race, and I'm not saying she can't win, because she absolutely can win. But she's going to be, in my opinion, she'll probably be favored, because I think everyone's going to see that. You're going from a guy that's in the paper as 7% to a guy that's in the paper as 26%.
I know she's going to be overbet.
These claims don't work. Guys don't improve off Randy Persaud.
But
they don't.
Didn't they find the right bunch here?
I don't know. I think they found the right situation last time, Ant. I'm not. Listen, the horses run well twice at Saratoga. You could argue a lot of the horses playing from Randy aren't in as good form. This horse is in good form.
This horse is in good form.
So maybe it doesn't really matter in that case. I'm not going to argue that. And this horse could easily win. I think there's an argument this horse is the likeliest winner of this race for a lot of reasons you said. I just don't trust this horse. This horse smells like a big fat piece of cheese sitting in a mousetrap. It does. This horse does.
Okay.
This is a complicated race. It's a very, very tricky. It's a very funny bug on the table here.
So funny. How do you know? You see this thing do stand up?
I think it's the Hirsch of bugs.
The Hirsch.
I mean, what do you do with Yes, I'm Evil, who comes out of the race, finished right behind Mongolian, who cuts back in distance? That horse has races that can make the horse competitive.
That horse has that horse's best race is that funky mile at the fairgrounds, where it's the short stretch. Those mile races at the fairgrounds are unreliable. That's the one big thing.
Horses run some other races.
I guess.
Okay, other than Wayne Potts, what chance does Veradia possibly have in this race?
Andy, how could you really knock?
Let me ask you a question. If
fillies?
you hadn't picked any Wayne Potts horses at this meet, would you be doing better or worse?
You don't think she's been running against better horses?
No, I don't care.
You don't think she's been running against better horses?
Maybe. I don't care. I don't like this horse.
She's been running against better horses. She's going to be a price.
Oh, listen.
I thought it was 4, 5, 7.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
I'm betting on subsidiary in here.
Okay.
If I bet this race. Listen, what do? I'll probably play multis and use all 5 of them, and I won't be using Veradia. So if she wins, you will be right, and I will be wrong.
Okay.
Subsidiary.
Who was the 5th horse you said?
2, 3, 4, 7, 8.
I thought you said 5, 7. Okay.
I don't get a 5 at all. I'm going to use the 8 Jessica on the Pat Reynolds trainer change, frankly.
Fair enough.
I thought about picking her on top. I got her 5th. Subsidiary does have one of those ridiculous form reversals first time for Orlando Nota. No question about it. And she has never run back to it. But a race 2 back, speaking of better horses, and maybe going a little too far, was good enough to win this race. Now, last time out, she was chasing outside against Played Hard, who's going to come back in the Alabama.
Right.
And I can forgive her that. I like the turn back, and I thought she was the one I wanted to go in here. But believe me, I'm not. I got no love for anybody in this race.
Maybe I'll make some room for. Maybe I'll make some room for her on the ticket now.
Really?
Because there's a couple of good points in there. And again, if I'm going to bet for Veradia, thinking she's been running. If I'm going to use Veradia, thinking she's been running against better.
Right.
I mean, she's just been
running against
completely over. She's been getting her head handed to her against horses that are exponentially better than her. All right, we're going to use all 4 of them.
I have to get this off my chest. If one more person says that, and congrats to Mark Cassie, the connections for their second win in the 4-star Dave yesterday, that filly needs firm turf when her best races showing in her PPs are on soft turf at Kentucky Downs and good turf elsewhere, I'm going to scream. You agree with me on this one.
You shouldn't say that because, I think people just want to see you scream.
Right, but it's insane, right?
Of course it's insane.
Okay.
But you know what, though? I think he's kind of played that up because he scratched her a couple of times.
I understand trainers make things up for excuses and for silly reasons.
I don't think he's making it up.
But she's run very well on turf with Given It, so I don't want to hear that nonsense. She's a good horse. Race number 9. It's a fun race, the Galway. When was your last trip to Galway? Either in Ireland or New York?
That would be...
You've never gone to the Village Pizzeria?
No. Acacia brought this up to me yesterday. I have not. Do I need to go to Village Pizzeria?
I haven't been in years, but it's very good.
Okay. How far away is it?
20 minutes.
Not that it matters.
It's not in Galway. It's on the way. I don't know if it's officially in Galway.
So Village Pizzeria. Okay.
I've been to Galway in Ireland, as a matter of fact, too. It's nice. We got married. It's where Sean's wedding reception was. In Galway.
In Ireland, not the pizzeria.
Correct, not the pizzeria. I've never been to the pizzeria with Sean. So let's talk about going good and illegal smile in here to start out, because I'm thinking they'll be relatively short. This race at Churchill was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No question about it.
And going good doesn't need to lead. She won in the dirt last time.
I can't remember the name of the filly. Brad Cox had one of these same types like 2 or 3 years ago. Do you remember her?
Yeah.
She won I can't remember her
She's a very
name.
fast sprinter. She's a dirt
Yep.
horse, though. But she's a dirt horse.
But she won on
Well, she
turf,
ran
too.
for the same connections. She had the same Klein silks.
Yep.
Those yellow silks.
I can't remember her name. Maybe Steve will help us if he's watching. But anyway.
My friend Steve will.
Oh, break
definitely.
even.
Break even. That's it. That's very good.
Break even.
Break even is correct.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, going good. Legal smile.
You don't have a legal smile anywhere in there.
I thought it was a good race. Well,
She's got to have to deal with other speed.
yes.
It does feel like there should be some speed.
She's got to deal with some real gas in here, right?
It's a funny. I don't know. It's a funny race because
Well, she's got to deal with Wink and Mischieful at the very
Dr.
least.
B has speed as well.
Yeah.
Because you've got horses with some talent that have never been in the turf, like Dr. B and Mischieful. They're trying the turf, and neither one of them has a screaming turf pedigree. The Dam did win. Mischieful Dam won, but she's into Mischief. But this is the second time that Ian Wilkes tried to get his filly in the turf. And I respect Ian, but she's not really that bred.
Shannon Nicole, I believe, is a half to Rachel Alexandra.
That may be correct. She didn't run on the turf either.
She didn't run on the turf either.
Neither did Jess's Dream.
Right. He ran once.
What?
He ran once.
He did. Once
Yeah,
was a
you're
lot.
right. There are some talented fillies in here. Problem is, there are some talented fillies in here that have run on the turf. So they're going to have to not only move their form over, but maybe even step up their game a little bit.
Well, I don't know. There's some pretty quick races. Illegal Smile and Going Good are pretty good. By and Star Divine, the horses that you and have flip-flopped and 1-2, they are going to have to get a little bit faster. We'll take a look at the Soaring Softly. I disagree with Christophe. I don't think he liked the ride. I thought Eric actually gave this horse a very good ride. I thought he made a decisive move when it mattered. And by getting that position, it put him forward and enabled him to hold off the second horse who might have been best, Invincible Gal. Star Divine ended up more forward than maybe is in her best interest because they were going longer. And then they tried a mile with her in a paceless, mile 16, a paceless race, and she actually closed pretty well. I want Star Divine cutting back in distance. I think she is a very good. Her first race was good.
Like you said, you and I saw this race pretty similarly, flip-flop the top 2 picks. Her first race was really good. And I do believe with all of the speed in here going to 5.5, she's going to be able to do what she wants to do today, and that's rip and run. She'll be much further back than she's been, and she's going to be allowed to settle and make the one run under Johnny. Yeah, she's very dangerous.
Drawing outside helps her because she has a horse that at times has had some gate issues. We'll see. It's a very interesting race.
And like you said, bye-bye. You know, she's just a versatile
Steve
type.
did check it with break even, but I think he said it after you did. I think he's just piling on.
It's
not
okay.
going to give him. I used to get
It's always
credit for that
appreciative of having somebody to corroborate
He's the Billy Preston of talking horses.
Yeah, I mean, it just seemed to me like By didn't want to go to mile last time. Distance was a little out of her scope, and now she cuts back to the 5.5. She was good at 5. She was good at 7. I don't know. She gets Joelle back aboard after the mile try last time in the Wild Applause. I thought it was 8s and 10s with a little 7.
All right. I think Illegal Smile's dangerous.
What do you do with Tuscan Queen, Andy? That race last time was.
I know what I do with her. Big X. I know. She did run last time.
How did we do with the lunch yesterday? Did I win? I think I won, right?
You might have. I don't know.
It was very close.
It was
For
close,
a while,
yeah.
it was 6-1, 9-2, and I thought I was home, but then it got close late.
Yeah.
We got to check.
I bet. It's funny. I remembered it. Yeah. You had a
Wanna
chance
do
to get even.
Want to do one here, 2-6 for a lunch?
Yes.
All right, let's do that.
I'll take 6 over 2.
One lunch.
I'm not betting. I want to see the horses run better from that barn, to be honest with you.
Okay, that's fine.
But I will
Fair
tell you,
enough.
you're not wrong.
She ran.
She ran last time.
She ran last time.
I'm not making a great bet here. I'll make it for fun, but I'm not making a great bet.
Yeah, she ran last time.
She ran. No, there is no arguing that. She ran. She runs back to that race. She
She'll be right
absolutely
there.
has a chance in here.
Yep.
No, I can't argue that. Not an easy 10th.
Not an easy 10th.
Not an easy. And I picked a horse I'm not proud of, believe me.
Oh man, you did it, huh?
Yeah, no. I don't think you'll completely argue.
Well, Mr. Kringle won, so maybe his female counterpart can get the money too up here.
You do make a great point. We'll take a look at the horse you and I both have second. I had amortization when she broke her maiden and beat me out of a fortune.
This was too.
And the horse who was
you go
third, who
with
should have
Bonnie
won,
T.
came back and got a 90 buyer yesterday. The third horse in this race.
Yeah, I mean.
But this horse's last race was pathetic.
I mean, though, you get the maiden broken. It might have been the last day of turf for that.
And I think a Kingman filly is going to get claimed, if for no other reason, that might have a little bit of value as a broodmare, and they just dropping her off.
Yeah, this is a here you go.
I'm trying to win a race,
Yep.
but it's a tough horse to trust and a relatively. And I don't think this horse is going to be 4-1. I don't think they're going to be able to resist the Chad Brown drop down, partly because it's such a complicated race.
This horse will be 5-2.
And listen, you and I both have Pletcher's horse. I have him third, you have a fourth, and I almost feel like you and I probably have the same opinion. That's the 3 Summer in the City of, well, it is Todd and Irad, and I don't want to leave her out completely, but my God, has she sucked in her last 2 starts. I mean, she has. I think.
Tell us how you really feel, Andrew.
Am I wrong?
No, it's been awful.
She hasn't done any running, but those were better horses.
But the truth of the matter is, this is a race full of horses that have run awful.
No, I know. No, I'm not.
They've run awful.
She was, your first inclination was good. This is a Todd Irad horse I can bet against. And the more I looked, I went, no, this is a Todd Irad horse that's going to absolutely win this race, and I'm not going to, like an idiot because it's very hard.
Our buddy Freddie Moe can get a piece of this, I think.
The Freddie Moe factor.
Yeah, right.
Freddie Moe, if you don't know him, you're missing out because he is one of the world's most wonderful people. Dylan's just sort of got to go, right? I know there's potential at her speed with Alpha Babe and even Appreciate.
You got to protect
but
inside
Dylan's just got to go. And,
absolutely.
Who knows? I'm using Freddie Moe. I actually considered putting this horse on top. You, bad person that you are, don't even have Freddie Moe in the top 4.
I could use 8 horses in here.
Couldn't do it for Freddie. He was here the other day.
Use 8. Is he here? I could use 8 horses in here. He
was here a couple weeks ago. Okay, Mirabelle May.
May.
She is a plodding loser. I will not disagree. And I've bet her before.
So far, you've said the horses in this race have sucked and called them a plodding loser.
And I picked them first and third. I don't think John Terranova would argue with me that this horse is a bit of a plodder and she doesn't win. I don't really think I'm saying something that John or Tanya would disagree with. But in doing that, she is consistently running races that are better than these. And the problem I'm having is, who am I supposed to love in this race to move forward? Yes, Summer in the City can win, but she just hasn't done any running in those races. Kubi Snacks did move up last time. Do I really want to bet her off a maiden 40 win at Monmouth? I picked her 5th. She can win. Amortization. She was brutal in her last race. Where am I supposed to go in here? The 12 post for the Mike Maker horse who's never run a fast race? What are you doing with Corded?
I want to try Corded in here. I want to try Corded in here because I feel like she's going to be number one. She's going to be a big price.
She should be 100-1.
Okay, she's going to be a big price in a wild card race. And we're talking about finding the trip from outside there. Tyler Gaffalione has a knack of finding trips, and I'm going to put my faith in Tyler in here and hope that he can work out a trip from the outside draw. And she's going to be a big number. She's got to be 15-1, right?
She should. If you have 15-1, excuse me. Here's a couple of problems with her. And listen,
there's a lot of problems
she's 100
with her.
to 1. If you want to bet her, you should bet her. It's fine. She's finished second 3 times in a row. 2 of them at 9-5 and 8-5 and $16,000 claimers down at Gulfstream.
Andy, I got no defense for any of it.
Yeah, that's the problem with her.
I have no defense for any of it.
Maybe she wins and performs a miracle and somehow wins this race, and TT's having a great week, and I'm glad for him. But
that played a role. The barn's starting to heat up.
Her races
are
on paper. She's a 50-1 shot because she's atrocious.
Well, I think she's going to be 15-20-1.
She better be.
I don't love any of these horses. I'm going to take a shot that Tyler can work out a trip from out there. I think she'll be overlooked because of the post. I'm going to take a shot
that the rider can work out a good trip from the 11 post.
I'm going to take a shot that he can. The guy works wonders finding these trips,
But that's not handicapping.
Man.
That's just
listen,
praying.
I think her races down in Florida, she needs to improve a little bit, but I think they're consistent enough.
Consistently worse than most horses in this race, though.
We'll see. We'll see.
Listen, she's 100-1. There's no upside knocking her. I cannot see the reasoning, but who knows? All right. So Lee's horse ran great yesterday.
Lee's horse ran 90 buyer.
I don't want to hear the needed more distance nonsense. The horse was in front at the 3/16 pole. What that horse needed was a little experience. That horse didn't need more distance. That horse needed experience. Got a 90 buyer? No, he ran this. I think it's the same figure that Witt got.
Yep.
I imagine they're waiting for the champagne. I doubt they come back.
As confident as Lee is, that was the plan before the race. Yes, the plan was that, and then skip the hopeful, and then go
like
to the
the
champagne.
maiden that didn't win, that was going to be waiting for the champagne from a couple years ago.
What do you want from me, man? I'm just giving you the info.
You're not, usually when I tell a joke that you know the joke, you laugh. That one, you're being a baby and you're forgetting what I'm joking about, and you should have laughed, and you know that. Now you know. You see, you missed it. You had an opportunity to get that one correct.
I missed it.
Maiden's waiting for the champagne. Hey, Good Magic almost won the champagne as a maiden.
Frenzy Fire beat him.
Yeah, I'm well aware. I'm still bitter about that too. Thanks for reminding me.
Hey, listen,
he paid more in the Breeders' Cup.
He won the Breeders' Cup, and he won the
Yeah.
Eclipse Award. So.
No, I'm talking about money.
Oh, you don't know.
I bet on the Breeders' Cup too, though. All right, it's been fun. Week number 5 getting ready to come to an end. Nice crowd, beautiful day today.
Beautiful. Come on out. Come on out. Giveaway today.
Giveaway.
Cooler bag.
Yeah. We're giving away the Anthony Stabile Memorial Cooler Bag.
The Memorial.
You can fit a lot more.
I'm still here, pal.
You could fit a lot more
There's
food
a lot of
in it
gas
than
left
it
in
looks
this tank.
like. You could fit a lot more
It's a
food
big
in it than
tank.
it looks. Yeah. Anyhow, head over to Naira Bets. If you're not a member of Naira Bets, become a member of Naira Bets. Use the promo code SPA200. Play through Naira Bets. Keep the money in the game. Every Thursday and Sunday, low roller handicapping contest. Go see Jay or Ray at the 4-Star Dave. Sign up for the low rollers. $40 buy-in, $30 live money, $10 the prize pool. A lot of fun. I highly recommend the low rollers. $10,000 pick 6 hit split here in Del Mar. Play them both. Hit 1, get 4. Hit them both. Split 10. Good
Carry
luck
to
with that.
6.
No carryover in the pick 6. Tough sequence yesterday, though. And finally, we're on from 1 to 6:30 today. Saratoga Live. All right. Have a great day. John Embrial, the voice of New York racing. He will be up next with a reprise of Sunday's Scratches and Changes.